All right. So good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of our Kaizen weekly book review session, which we started a while ago, and we've been driving as much as result as much as we can. We started the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill a couple of weeks ago, and we have done the 10th step to riches according to Napoleon Hill. And so far, we started this book with the power of thought, which spoke about how we need to work on our thoughts to get any dream that we want. We proceeded into talking about desire, which is we need to desire whatever we want, and the principle can be used for everything, including how to build wealth. We proceeded to talk about faith. Faith was described according to Napoleon Hill as visualizing and believing in the attainment of desire. And then we went into the concept of autosuggestion, which is the medium for influencing the subconscious mind. And we were told about how we need to train our mind and our soul and our thinking faculty on what we want. We went ahead to also talk about specialized knowledge, which is the fourth step to wealth, according to Napoleon Hill. And they explained to us during that for us to be successful in life, we need to get specialized skill that is not common, that people are scared and reluctant to get. We need to get it to differentiate ourselves. Then we went to imagination, talking about how do we build our imagination, the thinking faculty, how do we make it work to think about what we want and then dream about what we want. We talk about organized planning, which he called the crystallization of desire into action. And then went to decision, the mastery of procrastination. So they told us about how to make decisions here, and how we should not be dissuaded or distracted by some things that will prevent us from achieving our goals. We also talk about persistence, which is the foundation for sustained effort. And he called it the sustained effort necessary to induce faith. We also spoke on power of the mastermind, the driving force, that we need to build people that we believe in their thinking faculty and the sense of judgment to help us drive our dream. And he mentioned that that is the success of pushing anything that we want. Last week, we spoke about the mystery of sex transmutation, where Alaja Rashida Lemboye told us and taught us how we need to use that energy to drive better outcome. And today we'll be talking about the subconscious mind, the connecting the link. And we have Emmanuel Ajala. Emmanuel Ajala has been on this platform, I think, 2 or 3 times. Or 2 times he has won the gift from our Kaizen game night. And we're excited to have him tonight to share his thoughts on the journey of the book and focus on the subconscious mind, the connecting the line, and how it can make us make that wealth and become a rich man, as postulated by Napoleon Hill. Emmanuel, over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Um, Thank you very much for having me. Um, I really appreciate this opportunity. So yeah, like you said, we would be speaking about um the chapter 11, the subconscious mind, and I have some key points or some things that I would be emphasizing on, which Napoleon Hill taught us, or which he included in this chapter. So the first one would be for us to voluntarily plant in our subconscious mind. So he said, you may voluntarily plant in your subconscious mind any plan, thoughts, or purpose which you desire to translate into its physical or monetary equivalent. So what this is, or what I understood from here is that this does not necessarily have to do with money. It can be money, but not necessarily money. He said any plan, thoughts or purpose. So if we plan to be better in, let's say, our attitude, you want to relate with people in a better way, you want to try and get peace, inner peace, like peace of mind and every other thing or anything you plan to achieve or any thoughts you want to bring into yourself or try to start to believe in. This is something we can voluntarily plan, or this is something we can voluntarily place for our subconscious mind to handle. You also said that you cannot entirely control your subconscious mind, but you can voluntarily hand over to it any plan, desire, or purpose. So what this is trying to tell us is we cannot control the subconscious mind. You can't really tell the subconscious mind what to do. But if there is something you want to do, you can place that in. I see the subconscious mind as something that just goes and see what is available, see your thoughts, see what is in your mind, and just fix it. So if you can place something that you desire, that is what will be picked by the subconscious mind, and that is what will be um acted upon. So he spoke about the science of prayer. This was very, very interesting for me because he mentioned that most times people come to prayer or people come to a place of prayer when they have tried many other things or when the thing seems to be failing. So when they come to a place of prayer, their mind is filled with fear and doubt. So, and this fear and doubt are the emotions that the subconscious mind acts upon. This fear and doubt is that emotion that is passed to the infinite intelligence. Now, these same emotions is what the infinite intelligence receives and acts upon. He explained infinite intelligence to be like an higher power or let's say a universal consciousness or like a divine intelligence. So the subconscious mind translates this prayer, whatever you're praying for, and the emotions behind this prayer. So this doubt or this fear. So this is what the subconscious mind translates, and then it passes it to the infinite intelligence, which it utilizes this and receives and then sends back the answer to the subconscious mind in form of a plan or an idea in procuring the object of a prayer of the prayer. So let's say you are praying for your business. Now, if you come into this prayer in the place of fear and doubt. Now, this is what the subconscious mind will pass to infinite intelligence, and this is what it's going to act upon and then give you an answer based on your emotions. But when you come in, and he spoke about faith. So if you have faith, he said faith is the only known agency in which gives your thought a spiritual nature. So when you come in faith and you are looking for an answer for something and you are praying, and then the infinite and you come in a place that is not fear. This is what the infinite intelligence utilizes and then pass back the answer to your subconscious mind. We plan on what you need to do or to obtain that goal which you have set. I spoke about desirable food. He said, remember, your subconscious mind functions automatically whether you make any efforts to influence it or not. This is very, very interesting. He said, this naturally suggests to you that thoughts of fear and poverty and all negative thoughts serve as a stimuli to your subconscious mind. So I would like us to reflect on what kind of food we feed ourselves. What do we feed our brain? What do we feed our mind? Said the subconscious mind is going to function whether you make any efforts to influence it or not. So if you just sit without doing anything, your subconscious mind is being influenced, and that will be negatively because it said naturally the subconscious mind naturally suggests the thoughts of fear. So we need to naturally do something to ensure that, or you need to naturally you need to intentionally feed your mind. You need to intentionally feed your brain. What kind of content do we watch? What kind of podcast do you listen to? Now, if you scroll on social media, there's a whole lot of perspective. Everybody is sharing their own idea, and you would, in fact, on Twitter, now X, when you see people point of view of some kind of situations, you begin to wonder and say, what is happening? So we need to ask ourselves, these things that we are feeding ourselves, does it contribute to our success, or does it limit our ability to reach that level of success that we want to attain? So let's see our subconscious mind as like a garden or a farm. So it is whatever you plant in it that is going to grow. And if you decide that after planting, you don't want to take care of it, you don't want to nurture it, after some time, weeds begin to grow in it. So it's something that we need to consciously and intentionally feed ourselves with positive emotions or positive um, thoughts. And then also we need to control our mind, which is controlling the door. We need to control the door constantly every day. And then we need to make sure that the only information or the information that we allow our brain or our mind to process are informations that are going to empower us. So he said subconscious mind serves as a magnet. So this one is after reading this part, I had to go through it again, and then I understood that, and there was something I'd always understood right from time, or I've always noticed, but then seeing it here, I could relate. So he said the subconscious mind serves as a magnet or pattern of or blueprints by which the subconscious mind is influenced while translating them into their physical equivalents. So it made me remember a time when I was younger, when we still used to play rough. So that time I remember my dad just got a new car. Um, it was red in color. So, and every time they say we should sit inside the house, don't go out, and we sneak out to play. And I noticed that that time anytime you go out to play, your mind is not settled because you are doing something wrong. Anytime we see a red car that looks like his car, we run inside. And most of the time, we are always seeing cars that look like his car. So this is something that we have always seen, but because it's not something that we are taking note of. So this is not something that has been sparked by our subconscious mind. So it does not have any meaning to us. But now, because we know that if it is this person, we'll be in trouble. So your subconscious mind is being influenced, and is translating them into a physical equivalent. So now we are seeing these cars and we are running. So he also mentioned that thoughts are truly things. For the reason that every material thing begins in the form of thought energy. Wow. If we think about it, if you think about it deeply, everything around you or everything in your environment came from a place of thought. Let me explain. Um, I I felt that if I get a photochromic and a blue ray glass, anti-blue light glass, it's going to prevent light from disturbing my eye. So I got a glass. So for many times we feel, or you think that ah I need to change some of my clothes, then you get new clothes. I need to change my shoes, you get new clothes. So everything that is material comes from a place of thoughts, which is very powerful. And sometimes you might think you got it as a gift. It is not my thoughts. Yes, it is not yours, but it's someone's thought. When you get gift and people are like, I thought you would like it, so I said I should get it from you. So it still shows that this is from the place of thoughts, which also emphasizes on the thoughts energy. Now, he spoke on dominating influence. Dominating influence. I really like this. He said positive and negative emotions cannot occupy the mind at the same time. One or the other must dominate. It is your responsibility to make sure that positive emotion constitutes the dominating influence of your mind. So, yeah, he's saying that positive and negative cannot occupy your mind at the same time. One has to live for one. And it makes me remember this quote that says, if you are not growing, you are dying. And I remember in my secondary school, we had this poster that says, the day you stop learning is the day you start dying. So we need to consciously allow, just like the point I gave earlier, allow the positive emotion to dominate our mind. We need to reflect on the dominating thoughts um, that we allow to influence our mind to the degree that it shifts our mind to be more positive than the negative part. So he said, form the habit of applying and using the positive emotions. Eventually, they will dominate your mind so completely that the negative cannot enter it. So this is an habit we need to build. So it's not saying that there will not be negative thoughts, but if you allow majority of your thoughts, or if majority of your thoughts are positive, we'll be able to catch these negative thoughts and make sure that the positive emotions and positive thoughts dominate our mind. So an example is reflecting on who you want to be or what you want to become. It's very easy to just imagine waking up on your bed, opening your window, and all, because that is where you live. But how about we imagine ourselves in the kind of house you want to live? How about we imagine ourselves in the kind of positions you want to be, the kind of car you want to drive, sit in that car, imagine yourself in that car, receiving that AC, the sound of the car. Do you hear those sounds of car? So if we allow ourselves to be positively inclined than the negative, it would be easy for us to achieve our goals and reach where we want to be. So I just want to round up. So I would say our subconscious mind is the subconscious mind is very powerful. So it's a powerful force that operates below the level of subconscious awareness. So it influences our behavior, our decision, our outcome. By effectively programming the subconscious mind, we can shape our reality to achieve our desired goals. So it is essential that we feed our subconscious mind with positive thoughts, affirmations, and visualization, like I said earlier, through the process of autosuggestion, by repeatedly suggesting thoughts or belief to ourselves until they become solid in our subconscious. So when they become solid in our subconscious, we can now allow infinite intelligence to do its work by taking these thoughts or our plans, and then returning it back to our subconscious mind with a definite plan or a definite way to act to achieve these goals. Thank you very much. I will end here now.
Wow. Thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that deep conversation around the subconscious mind. And I really appreciate the way you have analyzed that topic. When I was reading it, from the extract you shared in the group, it's just about 8 pages, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 pages. And reading those 9 pages summarized the entire thing that we have been reading. And that's why when I started the session, I had to go through all of them so that it refreshes our mind as to how all of those points are connected. And according to Napoleon Hill, this chapter, the subconscious mind, is the connecting link to all of other principles that we have learned. And I want to thank you so much, Emmanuel, for that beautiful presentation. Just to add one or two things, just while we are expecting. If you have any comment, please feel free to raise your hand, and we will call you. We are also watching the participants. Okay, so for me, I feel the first thing to emphasize on what Emmanuel said was around what we feed our subconscious mind, and he referenced social media being a platform that you have so many controversial opinions about all sorts of issues today. And another thing I will also say is social media, nobody's saying social media is bad, that we must avoid it 100%. But the truth is that we need to also know what content am I consuming on the social media. Am I consuming controversial content to the extent that I'll become confused? And if you ask me everything, I become so controversial and say all sort of things, inconsistent things, just because the content you consume. Another thing is music. Okay, so people consume all sort of music today. I don't know how what you will become if you consume music like music without any content. Truly, if you listen to some of the music, what are the lyrics saying? What are the music videos? What are they saying? Is that what you want to get stuck into your brain? Or you truly want to get something that is valuable, that when you open your mouth, people will appreciate the content in your brain? So a lot of the youth today, you see us, and personally, I avoid some of those things. Maybe walking on the streets, blocking my air with my pod or my earpiece or my headphone. No, I don't do it. And the major thing is, I want to enjoy that natural feeling when I move on the street. I want to observe people. I want to see what people are saying. I want to hear what they are doing. Right? So we should be very deliberate as to how we feed our gates. There are three gates in our body: our eyes, our skin, and I think which other part? I think there are three. Our and our ears. Yes, our ears. So what do you feed your skin? What do you feed your eyes? What do you feed into your ears? So whatever you feed into those places will determine what will be established and entrenched in your subconscious mind. And that's why when you see beautiful people, handsome guys on the street, when you engage them and they open their mouth, you are like, what? How empty is this brain? What do you have in this brain? The only thing in that brain is Ori Kasibe, or you're listening to I don't know, is it Portable? You truly ask yourself, what are these lyrics? What are they saying? Am I getting anything from these lyrics? Compare lyrics like Lean on Me, like Michael Bolton. When you sing it, you will appreciate the message. But what do you hear to the bang, boom, 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 bang, bang, boom, boom? What does that change in our subconscious mind? So, what Napoleon Hill is emphasizing today in this chapter, and what we are trying to communicate to ourselves today, is our subconscious mind determines a lot about our perspective to life, about how we see life, about what do we do with our life, how do we move. And one thing Emmanuel said I also want to emphasize is the fact that this book is not talking about wealth per se. Because truly, if you truly listen to the book, if you truly listen to the book, right, or read the book properly, you see that is emphasizing wealth as part of the way, as a principle to attract us to read this book. The real content of this book is how to build us inside out. How do you now see yourself that I'm not the clothes I wear? I am not the makeup I'm wearing. I'm not the shoe that I'm wearing. I'm not the phone. I'm not the car that I'm driving. But who am I inside out? My personality. What are the driving force about the things I say, about the things that I cherish? You see people today, they can spend billions and not millions of naira on what they wear, but they cannot spend 1 naira to help the next person. That tells you what is driving them inside out. So that is what Napoleon Hill is emphasizing. And please, if you have any comment, I'm watching. If you have any, just feel free to raise your hand and we will call you. Lastly, I want to emphasize two things he said: the major positive emotions and the major negative emotions. He mentioned some of them. Okay, so one of them, in terms of the positive ones, he said you must have desire, love, sex, enthusiasm, romance, and hope. He said these are positive emotions. We should learn to use them and build them and sharpen them. He said you only get better with these skills by using them, according to subconscious mind chapter. He also said there about another set of negative emotions: fear, jealousy, hatred, revenge, greed, suspicion, and anger. He said these habits, they are entrenched in our brain. Please avoid them and learn to unlearn them. Okay, so because this component, and like Emmanuel emphasized, he said the positive and negative cannot stay together. One must take precedence and predominance over others. So if you, what is telling us, all those positive emotions, learn them, sharpen them, use them very well. And the ones that are negative, avoid them. So have positive desire, right? Have positive faith. Love people. If you truly need to use your sex, we have spoken about sex energy. Use it positively and morally. We have also talked about enthusiasm. Be enthusiastic about positive things. Oh, I want to do volunteerism. I want to give. I want to help. I want to contribute my quota, right? And then romance and then hope. Not the romance that we see people dress naked and people do anything on the street and say, ah, no, this one is this good. No, he's saying these are energy, emotions that we must manage. So those are the things I want to contribute. If you have any comment, like I said, please feel free to raise your hand. Emmanuel, if you have anything to add as well, we have 1 or 2 more minutes to go. But let's imbibe this culture to understand that all of the things we've been learning, they are all connected into the subconscious mind. So train your mind, make your soul and your mind something that is positive, that is moral, that is driving positive vibes around your environment, and not just I just want to enjoy my life. And then you see people today, because of the things we watch before, because of the things usually the people's lifestyle start changing. Someone like me, I'm a fan of Aproko Doctor, for instance. I like watching him, and it's shaping how I live my life. Anything I hear him say, I will look at it. Oh, this guy is making sense. I will do it, right? Because he's giving me positive vibe. But what about others? What are people saying to you? You see people sagging trousers, people doing all sorts of things. What is driving those things? So we need to be deliberate about what we feed into our subconscious mind. Let us be positive. Let us continue to drive the best attitude and morality and the best culture in our environment. And that is one of the reasons why Kaizen has been floated. We just don't want to be um, talking about things. We want to, okay, we have a reference point. People have been saying this. It has been written in books. And when you read it and you stock your brain with those principles documented in the book, you will really see that you are changing. For someone like me, because of Kaizen, because of some of the books we've read, I try to make a bold step in terms of my career. I want to do this, and I'm doing it. It's painful, but I remember the day we were discussing, I don't know who discussed it, specialized knowledge. I feel happy and motivated that that decision I took was in line with what an expert has said in the history of mankind. So in conclusion, please, let us feed our subconscious mind. Let us boost it. Let us make it productive and resourceful, and avoid all the negative things that can throw it into trouble and make us have a negative thoughts about ourselves, about community, and about everybody around us. I want to thank everybody for joining us today for our Kaizen Weekly book review session. Join us we are on all social media platforms. We are on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter. All of those platforms, we are there. Please go there, like it, and join us. And also, just to mention, our game night has been moved to every first Saturday of every month. I don't know how that will be possible because of maybe the public holiday and Salah coming, but let's see how far. But let's start preparing, let's pay attention. And I want to thank everyone for sharing this time with us, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely weekend. Thank you.